Well, guys, here we are, the Dilemma Dudes podcast. My name is Noah.
My name is Keelan.
My name's Devon.
Gotcha.
Good job, guys.
It was the first time we've almost done it fully properly.
Almost. We almost did it. But welcome back. Today we're going into the deep depths of Reddit again.
Oh, yeah.
Again, we've only done this. This is the first time.
This is the second time.
No, it's not.
Yeah, we did Reddit moral dilemmas, remember?
Oh, yeah, we did. This is the first time
The episode was called Can We Answer Reddit Dilemmas?
I don't look at
Come on, man.
God. Are any of you committed to this?
Why are you roping me into it?
This is the first time we're deep diving into this forum.
Yeah, so the forum we're going to deep dive into today is like an extremely popular Reddit forum. It's called Am I the Asshole? And
Yes.
honestly, it's one of my favorite things I've come across. Someone told me about it, and I was like, this is going to be perfect for our podcast.
I will say, though, if you're asking the question, chances are yes.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, a lot of the time, it's like, yeah, either they are or like...
They're being like manipulated.
Yeah. They're like... the way they write out their posts is like, I don't feel like this is the full story, you know? There's a couple of them you read, you're like,
It's the reason why the police usually get two sides of the story before they make a decision.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's what we're diving into today. Yeah, we're all gonna be just burping the whole
just
time.
drank pops. So we're-
Just I know there's people out there probably thinking about starting a podcast. The one tip I would give to you is just don't drink carbonated drinks before you hop on.
Yeah.
I apologize for the belches
I think that was the
you'll be
last one.
hearing.
We're good.
I'm not going to take any more sips of my drink. So now I'll just be freaking parched.
Just there for show. We should just make sure that we're all turned around so that we don't know.
There we
We
No,
don't
I
get
want
sued.
them to be seen.
You want it? Okay, we want to get sued.
Period.
Okay.
What are they going to sue us for?
The money that we don't have.
Exactly. What the heck are they going to sue us for? We're not making any money off this. But yeah, we'll dive right into this. These Am I the Asshole questions. Does anyone else have anything to say before we start, or we just get right into it again?
I don't know. I don't know.
No, I think we're good.
I got nothing.
All
All right. This is a great one because this is a hot topic in our area, and I think like all around. But it says, "Am I the asshole for complaining about an Amber Alert?" All right, so
I will say we do get a lot of Amber Alerts.
I'll read their full story because they make some really good points. Anyways, last night at around midnight, my phone, which was set to Do Not Disturb, started blaring loud klaxon horns full volume with a message about an Amber Alert. It said that a little girl had been abducted by her father and was last seen 5 hours earlier in a region 94 kilometers to the west of me, heading east in a car with the type of car, whatever. I complained on Facebook the alert shouldn't have been sent so broadly. Anyways, first mistake.
First mistake doing it on Facebook.
And especially to people whose devices had been deliberately silenced at midnight. When those Do Not Disturb device owners were likely dead asleep, my stance is that the text shouldn't be overridden like that. Or at the very least, it should be used with more nuance. Alert phones that aren't in Do Not Disturb mode require manufacturers to have a software switch allowing alerts set to on by default if you like, etc. My contention was that people who are most likely to sleep at midnight with their phones on mute are in a poor position to help you spot a specific car from 5 hours away, or from 5 hours going 58 miles away. That's basically, they have some other arguments. Additional context, I've been unemployed for over a year and have been in a difficult struggle to get another job. I was thinking keenly of my wife, our family's sole breadwinner at the moment, who has a long commute in the morning, and who cut her Valentine's Day evening short so that she could get enough sleep for the day ahead. I also have kids of my own and obviously would not want to see harm come to them. To complicate people's feelings about the situation, the subject of the Amber Alert was found dead, about 138 miles east of where the alert originated. So anyone complaining about the alert sounding through on phones that were specifically deliberately silenced must be an asshole, right? Because dead kid.
Because dead kid, is that what
That's how they wrote.
Oh my goodness.
Anyways, am I and the many, many people who call the police stations to complain the asshole?
Don't complain on Facebook all you want. Don't call the police station.
Calling the
complain.
police station is bad.
Because it's not. I mean, like, it doesn't always it doesn't tell you which police station put out the alert.
Mm-hmm.
It could be like 2 cities over, and your police station just did it because they call everybody. It's not the police station's fault.
No.
They type it in, missing persons report, and it goes out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not the police station's fault. I would be complaining to like Apple. Like if I had an iPhone and like they really got to me and I was really, it happened 3 times a night. And if it happens 3 times a night, there's a problem in the world.
Yeah. That's not a good sign of where you're living.
But like, I would complain to your phone provider to be like, is there a way that you can stop this? Because you like complaining to the police department. They're like, what, do you want us to not put out these these warnings?
Do you even care about dead children?
About
I'm
dead
sorry, I'm just
children?
imagining some police department out there. If you like look them up on Google, they have like a 1-star review, and it's just like, woke me up at midnight with an Amber Alert.
Yeah.
1 star. It's just like, what?
No, I always wonder about this because with my phone, I have like a Google phone. I never have the problems of like it never makes sound. I always have my phone usually on silent.
Let me tell you how
iPhones
it is.
always gets overridden. No, I've heard
Middle of the
them.
night, it just goes.
Yeah.
And then you're like, what is happening? Is someone calling me? Did someone die? No. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes.
You know what? You know what the
dead
Amber
child,
Alert
so.
reminds me of? When I was doing my intensive in Stratford, someone pulled the fire alarm at 4:30 in the morning. So I was laying there dead asleep, like exhausted, because we were doing like, 8-9 hour days, Monday through Saturday, right?
Yeah.
It was like Wednesday, dead center of the week. I was exhausted, and I just hear this horrific sound, and it reminds me of the Amber Alert so much. You're tired when you basically roll over and try to sleep through it. But that's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of like a fire alarm.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's horrifying.
It always, it never happened to me at inopportune. Like it's never happened to me at night. It's always happened to me like I was like at school, but then everyone gets it. So everyone's like, what the heck is happening? So it's like,
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
You're not
then.
special.
I've gotten one in the middle of the night.
you're not special
Yeah,
to.
I remember like the first time it happened in our area, which I think was like 2 years ago. I'm guessing
Yeah.
these people must be. I don't know if it's the same thing in the States as it is here.
So now the annoying thing about Amber Alerts is you'll get one, and then like 3 hours later you'll get another one and like an update
Yeah.
because they'll like update the description of the vehicle or something like that. They'll update that, or it'll be like child found. It'll be like, great, I didn't really need to know that. Like I wasn't out actively searching for this child. But
Yeah.
What do you mean? I was out in my front lawn with a flashlight. What are you talking about?
just
I
on your
don't
front
think-
lawn. Wow, great,
Yeah.
great searching.
I don't think it's fair to say that, they should not do the Amber Alerts.
No, it has to happen.
But I think it's fair to say that there should be a way to override them. Like if you're really like, hey, I'm going to bed.
Shut your
Even if
phone
this
off.
alert happens, I'm not waking up. I'm
Turn
in
your
bed.
phone
I'm not
off.
going to find a car. Like I'm not going to find
Yeah.
this car.
Yeah.
Like there should be a way to you be like, hey, when you do not disturb, it shouldn't send anything. Which I'm surprised. I thought that if you did have do not disturb on, nothing would come through.
No, it goes through.
Because
Because
that
that like emergency system happens with like natural disaster emergency
true.
update. Like any emergency update that goes through, it'll go through your do not disturb.
Yeah.
If you turn your phone off, or I think if it's on airplane mode, it won't happen.
Yeah. See, I would never complain though. Like if you really cared, if you're putting your phone in do not disturb anyways, just turn it off. Like you don't need
Yeah.
it on. Like if you're putting it in do not disturb, what's
Your
the
alarms
point?
won't go off, so
Everything's off anyways. Like
yeah.
just turn off your phone. So I'd say I totally see where they're coming from, but I think from what the point of view that they're claiming, they're kind of the asshole.
Oh, 100%.
Asshole.
Yeah.
Like I don't think that they're
going
giving
to
a good
Facebook
argument.
is one thing, but the fact that they said they went to the police, they called the police station and complained.
Mm-hmm.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Like just, oh man, like they already have enough to deal with. They don't need you calling them.
Yeah, like I totally get their argument, and I think they have a good
especially
point.
if you did it like during when the child was
Yeah, it's
missing.
like they have bigger
They're out
problems.
looking, so shut up.
But yes, understand where they're coming from. I think that there should be a way that if you put your phone on do not disturb, they shouldn't come through. But then also, if it's the same thing, as like an
Natural
earthquake
disaster,
or tornado,
yeah,
you kind of
yeah.
probably want to hear about that one. You know?
Exactly.
But I agree. Like if you're in bed 100 kilometers away from the Amber Alert, like what good help
It's
are
totally
you?
true.
You're like, yeah, okay,
Especially
cool.
if they like, it does kind of not make sense because it's like they knew what direction they were heading.
Mm-hmm. And it was the opposite direction.
The opposite direction.
Yeah.
But on the off chances that they were like
Exactly.
gonna turn around and just try and go the other way, yeah.
Yeah.
But also no.
Yeah.
But also, yes, you're an asshole.
Yeah.
All right, here's another one. This one's titled, "Am I the asshole for not talking to my boyfriend?" My boyfriend's mom was sick. Me and him have been together for 11 months. I think they're 15 too, is what it says. Yeah. We thought that it wasn't bad and that she would recover. Instead, she unexpectedly died. I found out when his brother posted it on social media. My boyfriend called me and didn't answer because I didn't know what to say yet and wanted to think it through. He called me and texted me throughout the day, but I didn't answer, not knowing what to say. The next day, he called again in the morning. He stopped trying to contact me and I didn't say anything to him for the rest of the day. A couple mutual friends called and said I should talk to him. I didn't want to because I didn't know what to say. I did, of course, feel bad for him. The day after, he knocked on my door and we talked, but he is mad for not talking to him. Am I the asshole?
Yes. Yes. Okay,
Even
nobody knows what to say in that situation.
No.
There's no right thing to say. Nobody knows what to say. You can't say anything.
No.
It's just the fact that they have someone to listen to, someone that will listen to them, and someone that they can at least confide in, or someone to just say, hey, that sucks, right? Like, it doesn't matter. You don't have to say anything.
Like you could even
what an asshole.
No, you could even respond to his text with like, I don't know what to say in this situation, but I'm here for you.
You can talk to me.
You're 15, so like, I don't know. You're like, again, like the fact that they threw in we've only been together for 11 months. Who cares?
Yeah.
If they're your friend, you're gonna
boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, even if they were if he was just your friend, and I still wouldn't, like, one of your guys' parents dies, I'd be like, man, I'm really sorry. I don't know what to say, but like, if you need anything, let me know.
Yeah, exactly.
And that would be comforting.
Yeah. No, it's definitely.
Just
oh my goodness.
You being like,
can you imagine?
Hey, Keelan,
I'm
just to let you know, my dad died.
Just
you imagine?
R-bomb him? Yeah.
Can you imagine being with somebody for almost a year?
Yeah.
Almost an entire year. And your mom unexpectedly,
like the worst thing that could possibly happen in your life.
It wasn't even like you were all like, oh yeah, she'll get better, and then all of a sudden she's gone.
Like I can't think of anything worse happening.
And then you go, hey, can we talk? Nothing.
Yeah, not a thing at all.
Answer at the beat. What? Nothing. Hey, can we talk? Hello, are you there? What's going on? Dun, 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 dun. Like, can you imagine? That would be horrible.
Like he should not have to be making an effort to get attention.
No,
it should.
She should have been making the effort.
I think the one thing is that she's upset because the way that she found out was through social media or something. Like he didn't automatically go to her, but like,
yeah,
if one of my parents died, I'm not gonna want to talk to people at first. I would wait, someone in the family would make a post, and then once I feel better, then I'll start reaching out to people.
Yeah,
but like,
I'm sorry, if we had a giant button here, like a big red button, that when we hit it, it just said asshole. If we had that, I'd just be like freaking hitting it so much right now.
Also, the fact that it took him coming over to the house.
Yeah,
like this boy is grieving. Is
he's
probably
a legend,
planning at 15 years old, probably planning a funeral, gone through the motions, made the effort to text and call for days, and then made the effort to come over to your house.
I'm sorry.
Doesn't have a license. Probably got his dad, who's also grieving, to drop him off.
Like, I'm sorry. I'm 21.
Yeah.
And if like my girlfriend did that to me, I would have been like, I'm not talking to you. I'm not coming over.
Pissed.
Screw you.
He's totally justifiable for being pissed.
Oh yeah. He's more justified than just being a little pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'd be livid.
I do think it's really obvious. Like when I read this one, it's like definitely consensus.
You can tell that they're 15.
I want to like explain. I feel like what she was probably thinking is that
the devil's advocate. Sure.
You don't want to say. Like we've all been in a situation with like someone close to us that like confides, and then sometimes you can say the wrong thing. Totally. Like I feel like we've all probably had that experience where you're like,
this whole podcast.
Oh God, I definitely said the wrong thing, and you make it worse.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So she was probably scared of doing that, but then it's just like, okay, don't give any advice.
Exactly.
Like there's certain times where you don't need to give advice.
And I can understand as a like from a young person's point of view, I can understand her going, "Holy crap! I've never ever dealt with anything remotely close to this. I don't know how to respond." I get that, but the response to that is not hide,
yeah,
not abandon this dude,
yeah,
in the most trying time of his life.
Yeah.
Like, come on, don't just throw these Mr. Struggles away, guys. Like, come on.
Oh man.
That's
So funny. You can definitely tell that she's young.
Yeah. But I mean, I have to say, like, I see where she's coming from, but if it was a smaller situation, like someone messaged you being like, hey, like this thing happened with my friend.
My dog died or something.
Yeah,
like
and you're
that.
like, oh God, I don't know how to I don't know, just a more simple thing. Like they're just struggling with something.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't know what to say. And they're coming to you for advice.
You know what I'd say? Mr. Struggle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, we're gonna have to
Noah, can you do me a favor? Are you still looking at the post right now?
Why, you want me to comment?
I want you to look at the comments. I want to know what other people said.
Yeah, that's true. We should do that.
Well, so it's I looked up, these are like the most controversial ones, and it actually ends up getting tagged after it's been on for a while, like if they're an asshole or not. And this one is obviously yes, asshole.
It's just a big stamp. Asshole.
Go, like the big like
one.
Approved or denied stamp.
Yeah.
Asshole.
Let me see what comments there is.
I'd love it if they were all just one word yeses. Yes.
Yes.
So this person like gets into it, the person that wrote the post. Let's see. So this person says, you're the asshole. His mom died. Even telling him you didn't know what to say, but were there for him would have been better than ghosting the guy during the most difficult time in his life, which is what we say.
Word for word, what Devon said.
Yeah. And then this girl responds, like the girl that wrote it, what gives me the obligation though? And then this other person says, you may be too young to be in a relationship if you don't realize you should be providing emotional support to the person you're dating.
What gives me the what is my obligation?
And then this person says, do you feel any empathy? And then she says, I feel bad for him, but I'm not required to say anything. And then this person says, and he's not required to stay with you. Simple.
Oh my god, this person's the worst person.
I don't know. Like I definitely.
Oh my goodness.
I definitely don't have their side at all.
What gives me the obligation? The fact that you said yes to him when he asked you to be his girlfriend.
No, just the fact that you guys talk. Like you just have to be friends, and you are like, in my opinion, really obligated to help.
You're not obligated to help him. You're obligated to be there and be a support system.
Yeah, you don't have to give advice. No. I'll agree. There's times that I regret it as a person. Like trying to give advice when I didn't need to.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's why I
try
think
to fix their problem.
I think that's why it's so important that every episode we say we're not experts.
No,
because we're not. And
I've definitely given some bad advice.
In my life. Because like that. Oh my goodness. What gives me the obligation? You're in their life.
Keep going, please. I want to just see a couple.
I exited out of it.
Oh,
that's so funny.
I think there's actually not that many comments because it like
I think it was just so clear.
The moderator closed it pretty fast because I think people were getting super mad.
This 15-year-old.
The moderator said, "Well, we've obviously decided on this one, so I'm going to close this one down." Like I don't think they want this to turn into like people just trashing each other.
Oh my goodness! What is my obligation? Like, holy cow! Just being a fellow human being.
Yeah.
Just, helping each other through, the horror. I can't even, guys. I like.
Okay, we'll give some warranted advice right now that I think is valid advice. That if someone comes to you to confide in you, you don't need to give them advice, but you at least need to listen.
Yeah,
like
you at least need to be there.
All you need to do is listen. Like when someone comes to confide in you, unless like it's your job, like you're a therapist, but even therapists are mostly just supposed to listen. Like they're not necessarily supposed to always give you advice. They're not supposed to tell you what to do. You just have to listen. Be a good listener.
Oh my lord!
I'm not saying I'm good at that at all. I'm pretty bad at it.
And if you're someone's friend or especially their significant other, you are obligated.
Yeah. Anyways, okay, let's do another one.
And he's not obligated to stay with you, so.
Yeah, that was the best comeback.
That's good.
All right, here's another one. Am I the asshole for telling my friend that she comes off as a spoiled brat? I really like this one. It's kind of funny.
Okay.
Me and my friend are both 23-year-old women. My friend lives in a really nice city in a beautiful apartment. She makes a lot of money from software engineering. I'm really happy for her and her accomplishments. However, she seems to have built up quite the ego ever since she started making money. She makes unnecessary purchases just because she can. We got into an argument about this the other day. She hasn't had a TV in her apartment ever since she moved in and decided she finally wanted to buy one. She immediately went on Amazon and bought the first 32-inch TV she saw. It came in 2 days and was with her when she was setting it up. The first thing that came out of her mouth was, this is really small. and she proceeded to debate with me for the next 15 minutes on whether or not she should return it and get a new one. I told her that it was fine, and she sort of agreed at first, but then she was like, nah, I don't like this size. And she immediately goes on Amazon and buys the same TV in 60 inches. I told her she was...
Sorry. She goes from a 32-inch to a 60-inch?
So wait, how big is 32? Like, how big is this?
That's like 60 inch.
That's 60. Okay,
Yeah.
so 32,
no, I'd say that's like 55, 60.
Mhm.
Yeah, at least.
so 32 is slightly
32 is
smaller.
like small.
It's
Oh,
pretty...
okay. So it's
it
like
used
a
to be
computer
big,
monitor.
but it's pretty small.
Yeah,
a
like
computer
so
monitor.
like my computer monitor is 27
Sorry,
inches.
did you say that again?
70 inches.
My computer monitor is 27
This guy did
inches.
his
Hey guys, my
computer, like-
computer monitor.
So,
Okay, cool.
So 32 inches is quite small,
Is-
but jumping from a
yeah.
32 inch
To a
to a
60.
freaking 60 inch, and
Anyways,
let me
that's
tell
not
you-
really what the dilemma is.
Hold on,
but
hold
yeah,
on a
okay.
second. Let me tell you really quick. A 32 inch, let's say it's like $500. If you were to get the same 32 inch and a 60 inch, probably looking at like $2,500.
Okay, cool.
Mhm.
Like that's how much the price goes up.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that the difference between the two and how big the first one
Yeah.
was. Okay.
So anyways, she said, I told her that she was being really impulsive and has no patience, and that she's dumb to not even look at the return policy before impulsively buying a bigger one. She said that if she can't return the smaller one, she'll just keep it in her bedroom and that it wouldn't be a loss. This really annoyed me because I felt like she was rubbing the fact that she's so rich and can just buy whatever she wants when she wants in my face. I think part of being a good friend is holding each other accountable and keeping it real with each other. So I told her she comes across as not understanding the value of money and how it's a slap in the face to people who have to work 3 times as hard just to get the smaller TV. She kind of got upset and asked me if I really thought she was trying to come across that way. And I said, well, yeah, you come across as kind of a spoiled brat. She kind of started to cry and I switched the subject. We haven't talked about it since, but when I explained the situation to my mom, she told me I was a complete asshole and to apologize to my friend. Am I the asshole?
This is actually a hard one.
Yeah,
because like, yes, automatically buying a new, way more expensive TV right after you said, I don't really like that one. I would say yes is impulsive buying, but that's also coming from someone who, like, I don't have that much money to do that. So yes, that would be impulsive buying for me. If I all of a sudden had that money and was like, cool, I'm going to buy a massive TV, two TVs,
Yeah.
then yes, but
Also, sorry, really quick. We don't know how long she was thinking about buying this TV for.
yeah, I agree. Putting it, if she can't return it, put it in your bedroom. Who cares? You have 2 TVs. But also the fact that she said, like, you know, she's worked really hard at her job, has made the money. Not if this person came from richness, I would say yes. They're being a spoiled brat. But if they've actually worked, like software development, worked really hard, got the money, got the apartment, haven't had the money or thought about getting a TV and just wanted to buy a TV, bought it, was like, oh, it's a little small, buy a new one. Cool. If they have that, great.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just jealousy on the other part.
That's what it seems like.
Here's
Yeah.
the thing. Here's the thing. Is sure the money, the newfound amount of money might have gone to the friend's head a little bit.
Totally.
Right? Like we've all been there, or like get a big tax return or something like that. And we're like, oh, and
Yeah.
we're like, go and buy something stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've all been there. But imagine your paycheck just goes from $300 to freaking $1,000. Just like out of nowhere. Just like every week you're making triple.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see it going to your head a bit. But I don't like, from this story, it really doesn't feel like it's that bad.
I think
it really
it's-
doesn't feel like it's that bad.
Yeah.
And it just feels like the friend is, again, jealous.
Yeah.
And also, I feel like the friend is kind of like, I don't know, maybe I'm reading into it a bit much, but I feel like the friend just kind of went like, well, I kind of want to be nasty to her because I'm jealous.
Yeah, like if I got a huge raise and I put some of that away, but I was able to splurge a little bit, yeah, great, I'll buy it. And it sounded like she's been sitting in a TV-less apartment for a little bit. Yeah, buy a TV. If it's not the right TV, look at the return policy. The whole, like, she went right away back on Amazon, bought a new one, was a little bit like, okay, you
But
jumped the gun
here's
a
the
tiny
thing.
bit on that one.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: is we have no idea. Like I'm building a computer right now, right? I've been sitting there researching a whole bunch of different computer components, and I like researched them a ton. I picked everything else out, and I very impulsively swapped to a different component. and I bought it literally right then and there.
Yeah.
She might have been looking at a whole bunch of TVs and going, do I want the 32 or the 60? Do I want the 32 or the 60? Okay, I'll try the 32.
Yeah.
Then she gets and goes, you know what? I made a boo-boo. I want the 60.
Yeah.
Right? It might not have been that impulsive.
Yeah.
It just appeared impulsive.
Yeah.
I don't think either way. I don't really think it's her friend's place to tell her either.
No.
Like if she has the money and she's capable and able to do that,
If it
and it's
actively
not bad for her.
affects the person who posts it, if it actively affects the person that posts it, then maybe she's not an asshole.
Or if this person didn't have that much money and they were doing that, then I'd
exactly.
be like,
then as a friend, you'd be like, whoa.
or if they were spending like you said, if it was their parents' money or something, like they were just spoiled.
Yeah.
Well, here's another thing. Is fine. You know what? The friend felt like she was really like obligated to say something. You know how she puts it? It's my job. Why is that so high up? It's my job to really keep it real. Right? Sure.
Sorry,
fine.
Devin, can you re-say that? I heard your nose for a second.
The time and place was horrible.
Yeah.
It was awful. Like, can you imagine Noah's trying to buy a TV and I go, yo, man, you're being a bit impulsive. You probably shouldn't do this. And he goes, well, thanks for the advice, and does it anyway. And then I go, you're a freaking spoiled brat,
Yeah,
bro.
exactly.
Like, you suck.
Yeah.
Like, everything about you sucks. Like, that would come out of nowhere. Like, maybe wait a couple days, maybe wait a week, and then be like, hey, Noah, I just wanted to tell you, sometimes when you splurge in front of other people and, you just kind of spend a ton of money that not a lot of, other people don't have, kind of look like a jerk.
Yeah.
That would have been fine. Even if it probably was a bit uncalled for. But the way she did it, just like right off the top, bad. It's like, you didn't take my advice, so I'm going to call you a spoiled brat.
Yeah, it was definitely from I think it was a little unjustified in that specific situation. But I guess I can understand if this was like just the pinnacle of the experience. Like her friend has been doing this constantly, and then finally she just felt like this was a good time to tell her.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was.
Well, let's read some comments.
Some comments.
Asshole.
So this person says, this seems like a you problem. You're just jealous and you need to get over it. It's not a slap in the face. She changed her mind about what she wanted, what she saw in her space, figured what would actually work, knew what she was capable of affording, and had a backup idea for what she'd do if she couldn't return it. She's not out in public talking about how much she spent. She's simply enjoying the fruits of her labor and has the peace of mind that comes with being financially secure. It's not her responsibility to babysit your feelings about how she spends money. Jesus, grow up and get over yourself. Oh, and apologize to you.
Man, the Reddit comment sections are my favorite.
They're like
Okay,
that was
hold on.
that was kind of rude, but it was also still kind of respectful.
You just like,
I want to just say, like, why are we even talking about it? We can just read the comments.
I know.
And it'll be fine.
They just said everything we already said. It's kind of good,
just
though.
in a much better way.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
we stumbled over each other.
This person says, this is hilarious because I just went through a similar thing with my brother. He's a very successful lawyer, bought a super nice, expensive 55-inch TV, decided once he saw it in his living room that he wanted to go even bigger, bought a 65-inch, asked me to come over and help him pack the old one up. You know what I thought? You're totally right. 65-inch is much better in this living room. It's not impulsive at all to buy the wrong size and realize you don't like it. It's hard to know until you see it in the room. And if you got the money for it, buy whatever you want. Good Lord. This person's hella insecure.
yeah. I think it honestly comes down to jealousy and insecurity in their financial situation. Like
I get that. I think this person is just overly in tune to not trying to show off. Like, right. I feel like she's way too in her feels.
She's hypersensitive to not only not trying to show off, but also just money in general.
Yeah, I don't think in this situation that was at all a thing that I could picture myself doing that.
So the fact that she went home and her mom was like, "Yeah, you're a butt."
I literally just did that.
Yeah, you get something and you're like, "Oh, this isn't a good idea." Okay, I'm just gonna go because it's in my brain now. I'm just gonna go and buy the thing I did want.
Yeah,
why am I gonna sit around and think about it? I don't need to freaking.
Yeah.
What was she doing? Expecting you to sit down, open your Bible, and pray about it first?
It's like when you go
think about this,
and the person you're with is like, "Do you want to shop around? Do you want to look around?" And you're like, "No, that's the one I want." And then they get mad at you for buying the one you want.
Yeah.
Like, well, you didn't even look at the others. I didn't need to. That was the one I wanted.
Yeah. But that's I think that she's in the wrong there.
Yeah, totally.
All right, let's see.
That's funny.
Here we go. Am I the asshole? Oh my gosh, Jesus! What just happened there?
English.
Whew, we need to do some mouth exercises, dude. Okay. Am I the asshole for refusing to sugarcoat things to spare people's feelings?
Yep.
Read on.
All right. So I've been told that my business makes me my bluntness makes me an asshole. I honestly had never given it much thought. I've been like this for as long as I can remember.
Of course you haven't.
It's never altered my relationships in any way either, so I truly just didn't get it. Anyway, some examples. The examples are my favorite part.
Okay.
Oh no.
My cousin has a drinking/drug problem and has had her kids taken away 3 times. She came to me some months back and was crying, saying she couldn't figure it out why she just kept losing custody of her kids. I was blunt and said, well, maybe you should care about your kids more than you care about your drugs and alcohol. She called me an insensitive. Apologized later. She's been sober for months, so I guess this one it worked out for him.
Let's do it example by example.
Sure.
So let's figure this. I would say no, you're not an asshole in that situation.
Yeah, I mean, drugs
because
and alcohol.
if it's happened multiple times, she still can't figure it out. Laying it out plain is the best.
And
thing
they came to you for your opinion.
Exactly.
So I think I think it's warranted if they're like, hey, what did they say?
It's when an unwarranted opinion.
Yeah, they said they came to him crying, saying she couldn't figure out why she kept losing custody of her kids, and he gave her an answer.
I mean,
it's like, well, maybe it's your drug and alcohol problem.
The fact is, when they take your kids away, they tell you why.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though.
We're taking your kids because you have a drug problem and you can't keep it together.
Yeah.
Why are you taking my kids away?
In theory, I agree with both of you, but here's the thing: is there's a huge difference between going, like she comes to you and goes, I can't understand why my kids are getting taken away, and you look at her and go, we both know the reason behind that. Your drugs and your drinking. It's a big problem.
Yeah.
You need to get a hold of that. Right? That's a nice way of putting it. But if she comes to you and is like, my kids have been taken away. It's like, yeah, maybe you should actually care for your kids.
That line is a little insensitive. But I mean, I'm sure this person's fed up with her.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, there's good ways to go about it by saying the same thing.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. But I think this one's pretty toned down. I think it's okay. But let's read some more. So my mother never has any money. She has 8 kids, 4 of which still live at home. She buys them electronics, expensive makeup, toys, damn near all the time. She also makes really poor decisions. So she called me asking for money, and my response was, nope, sorry, I'm not bailing you out of this one. You would have plenty of money if you stopped buying stupid crap. She still buys stupid crap, but she doesn't ask for money anymore. Is that one? I think that was okay.
I think that was okay. Like,
I think that was fun.
Again, it's one of those things like if it's happened multiple times and you're fed up, you're gonna say.
And again, they're coming to you asking for your opinion, or in this case, they're asking for money. So I think he's allowed to give his solid reason.
No, that's fair.
So maybe delivery is not the best. But
this person's mother.
Yeah, it's his mother.
So she's asking for money for her siblings, young siblings.
I guess this guy's siblings too. Yeah, it must be his siblings too.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I would say that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'd agree.
Unless his mother really needed money. He was like, hey, I get if she has bad spending habits, which sounds like she does, but also if your mom's like, all of these, hey, I really need money.
I think this person needs to find help for every single person they know because they all have an addiction of some sort. Drugs and alcohol, spending.
What's funny is though, I know people that are really blunt. They're always people that people like to confide in people like that. You know what I mean?
Which is funny because people were like, I want you to be as honest as possible. And then when they do that,
I think there's some people that just like that bluntness.
I don't know. I know a couple people that are blunt, and the thing I find hilarious about the people that are blunt is they never say they're blunt. They say they're honest.
Yeah, right? Or it's the hard truth or something like that. Yeah.
And also the thing they always say, well, what did this guy say at the beginning? It's never affected my relationships or something like that.
Yeah.
No one's ever gotten mad or something like that. And it's like, that's a lie.
Yeah.
They just didn't tell you.
No, I'm sure they got mad, but I'm sure ultimately they were like, oh, he was probably right. So it didn't longingly affect
that's probably why
relationships.
His mom hasn't come back to ask for money again.
Yeah.
It's because they were like, okay.
Yeah. I think there's a fine line. If you're half-ass blunt, you just kind of are blunt, but you don't fully say it. I think I'm like that. It's probably not as good.
Yeah.
I think if you're going to be blunt, you got to go full out. And if you're full out blunt, there's actually something I kind of find is nice about that.
But here's the thing.
I'm not saying I would want that.
Some people aren't, funnily enough, are an asshole and use the excuse of, oh, I'm just blunt.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't make them not an asshole.
No, it doesn't.
No. I'm saying some people use the excuse of
Yeah.
being blunt to be an asshole.
But I think it's.
Right.
I think we need those people in the world, though. That's what I'm saying.
Sometimes.
I think you sometimes
Definitely
need people
certain
like that.
situations.
It definitely
where-
builds character.
I'm not saying
Yeah.
I want them around me,
No.
but I think they're necessary. Anyways, okay, here's another one. My sister-in-law is always complaining that her life sucks and she feels worthless. She vents to me damn near constantly, but does nothing to help herself. So she called me the other day and said, "Why do I keep feeling like this? Why am I so pathetic?" So I said to her, "Maybe you should go out and get a job and so you get away. Sorry, maybe you should go out, get a job so you get time away from the house. It'll give you a sense of accomplishment. I can't help you not feel worthless. This is 100% on you. Do something about it." Well, she has a job interview for the first time in 16 years on Monday.
No, I don't think this person's an asshole at all.
Here's the thing. Is this person's walking the line of being honest and blunt and not being an asshole? Like, I don't even think what he said there.
That was probably the best one. I think that one was actually nice.
The last sentence was a little like what. Read what he said again.
He said, "I can't help you not feel worthless. This is 100% on you. Do something about it."
That is a
little
harsh.
Yeah.
It's just but again, it's one of those like all of these situations that he's in. They're things that have been problem. He's talked about. He's come to me multiple times. He's rants to me multiple times. Like he's fed up. What else do you think he's gonna say?
I think the biggest difference between someone like this and someone who's the asshole version of this, is unwarranted, unwanted, unasked for bluntness.
Yeah.
Or like
if someone's
saying,
just living their life like if you and me were having a conversation and I was like, you know, I find this really hard,
Suck it up.
Well, no, it's not even you. I'd be like, I find such and such really hard. No one was like, yeah, well, I do this, so you need to suck it up, and blah, 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 blah,
exactly.
blah, blah.
Making it about yourself would make you the asshole.
Yeah.
As
he's
well
not.
as
He's
you're
like,
not even part of the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like he's being like, here's a solution that we've probably told you multiple times in your life. Here's the solution to this problem. Just do it. Go get a job.
Yeah. I mean, all the things that he said so far, I would say what also doesn't make him the asshole is I feel like they're all truth. Like he hasn't like added in any undercuts.
Yeah.
Like just like, hey, that was probably not necessarily like a little kick in the balls. Like he just said the honest truth.
Again, those little like harshnesses in those, it's just frustration. I think.
It wasn't like they were that bad. It was like just the really harsh truth.
Yeah.
Like maybe you shouldn't say it, but also it wasn't like it wasn't necessarily sugarcoating anything.
No, definitely
like
not. Especially
he wasn't overextending.
most of them are family members,
over-exaggerating.
and if you're a family member, you don't really
get the
want
luxury
to
of
you don't really
of
want
sugarcoating it.
Anyways, okay, we'll do one more. I
Okay.
think there's only one more. My dad is an alcoholic and ditched me when I was 4 months old. He showed up at our annual end of the year family barbecue waste and started crying to me about how sorry he was for not being a good dad and whatever. So I responded with, "Well, you're not exactly trying to do better, are you? Why don't you lay off the boozing and come to me sober?" He hasn't spoken to me since, but that's normal. He's probably on a binge.
Okay, that's just
What's this guy's? No, and I'm not gonna ask, but I just want to say I kind of love this guy.
Yeah,
I think he's actually funny.
I think this guy's a legend.
it's also
Weirdly,
the way that they're.
So this one on Reddit, it does say asshole, but I don't think that he is.
I don't think he is.
No.
In the world that we live in today, he is.
Yeah.
Yes, in
And on the internet, he is. But like, I don't know if this was my friend. I think I'd be okay with it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like
don't
he'd
get me
also
wrong,
be
I'd
really quick to compliment you too. You know what I mean?
Oh, don't get me wrong. If he came up to me and said something like this, even if it was 100% true, I'd be pissed. Don't get me wrong. Everyone would be offended.
For sure.
Everyone would be miffed. But when someone says something that's true and they're not unnecessarily a jerk about it, 9 times out of 10 you go, okay, fine, fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know. I kind of want this guy to be my best friend.
I know. I think he's pretty warranted, most of the things he said there.
Like that.
We should get him on the podcast.
I know.
Your boozy dad showing up after years and years of not being there, just showing up and being like, "I want to be a good father," and it's like,
you're drunk right now.
You're drunk.
Dude.
One, you're drunk right now, and two, you kind of gave that up when you left.
I think this whole family just needs lots of therapy.
Yeah, no, he's living in a crazy family.
Yeah. Mom's addicted to spending. Dad's addicted to alcohol. Sister-in-law sounds like she's super depressed.
Yeah.
And what was the other one?
Was a friend who was on drugs or something.
I think it was just a friend.
Yeah.
Cousin.
Cousin. Jeez.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Get some therapy, people.
That's funny.
But yeah, I mean, I think if every human in the world was like this, like the internet, everyone on the internet's like this.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think there's something to be said that if you're like that in person, I don't know. I know people that are blunt like this and they're like jerks about it.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
they say their blunt thing, but then they also talk about how great they are. Like then now I'm like, no, now you're an asshole.
Yeah, now you're a jerk.
Because now you're making it about yourself. You're just trying to make yourself look better. But if you're just giving straight warranted, you're just telling them how you see it.
Yeah.
You're
And
not
again,
making it
it's
about
the fact
yourself.
that they
You're not
asked.
exaggerating.
It's honest. It's honesty rather than, I don't know what do you want to call the other, like he's just being honest in how he feels.
And he's not even he's not going the extra mile being like, when I say the extra mile, I mean like he's not doing anything unwarranted. He's not doing anything he's not saying anything that's negative and false.
Yeah.
Everything's 100% true, and he's not going out of his way to be a jerk about it.
He's actually giving advice in every single sentence.
Yeah.
Why don't you lay off the booze, Dad? Why don't you go get a job, sis? Like,
He might just be
why
a
don't you
little
stop
intense
spending
with
Yeah,
it.
money?
don't get me wrong. There's nicer
Delivery.
ways you put it.
yeah, but again, it's one of those things where he's reached a point of frustration where that's all you can say.
Yeah.
And if they don't talk to him afterwards,
He's the type of guy that you would go to if you wanted an honest opinion. But you don't go to him often.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
You don't ask
Yeah.
for his opinion often, but when you do, you know for a fact
He's the
you're getting
person-
honest opinion.
He's the person that you respect enough to go to for advice, but on the way there, you're like, oh, he's going to rip me a new one.
Yeah, I know. I need to calm down and meditate before I go here.
I'm asking for this.
Yeah,
My
exactly.
body is ready.
Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't want that guy to be my best friend. Like I don't need to be hearing his opinion constantly.
He'd be the guy that you'd, be down, pick up your phone. You're like, I don't want to text any of my friends. I'll text Joe.
Yeah,
And he'll have something to say.
he sure will.
Yeah.
You know this guy's always gonna have something to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like I said, I don't think I'd want everyone in the world to be like that, but I think you need a few people like that in the world. Keep it spinning.
Totally.
But people that are like that I feel like this guy seems like he's got his head about him though. Like he usually knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Of course, he could have just given us his 4 best stories. He probably has
true.
some that he's maybe given bad advice. But
I think also everyone's an asshole at some point,
exactly,
right? Like,
exactly. Anyways, guys, I mean, we got some good assholeities today. Asshole.
that's not a great word to
Excuse
use.
me? What is with us today? We can't even speak
I'm the only
English.
one that's been able to speak properly.
It's all like carbonated drinks.
Yeah.
Oh, I should go on
Cross
to
the
our.
brain.
I think we got a submission from our Google Forms too, and I don't want to. And it sounded like it was quite urgent, so I want to get to it.
All right.
Oh my goodness. Time sensitive.
Well, it sounds like it was something that just happened, and they really wanted our advice on it. And I read it, and I'm like, oh, I think we can actually give good advice on this scenario.
Cool.
Oh my goodness, I'm hyped.
This is a real dilemma. I am currently deliberating. That's why I said we needed to get to this.
Okay, let's do it.
And I figured, why not consult the dilemma dudes?
Heck yeah.
Just a warning, though. I've got to tell the backstory first. All right.
Okay.
I'm down.
Buckle up, everyone.
Here we go. Everyone ready? While preparing for my road test, I practiced driving on my instructor's car. However, just before the test day, that car ended up in an accident. I was left without a car. My instructor paired me with a friend of his, a kind woman who offered me her car for the test. This went well, though I unfortunately failed my test for one little mistake that I know to avoid next time. Otherwise, I would have passed with no problem. The lady who lent me her car was super kind, even offering me her car for the next time I do the test. But there's a catch. She told me she would like to do an extra lesson with me, an expensive lesson, one that I definitely do not need. I just need her car. Do I? Don't drink sparkling water when you do a podcast. Just say no and ask for her car simply for the tests, which I feel would come off as a jerk move. Or 2, pay for and do the expensive lesson that I really don't need, but just to stay on her good side. Then they said, you guys are awesome. Keep deliberating.
First of all, thanks.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Oh.
Thanks, buddy. This is a good question, though.
Yeah.
So because when you were reading it, I automatically thought the dilemma was going to be that he failed his test because he was in a new car.
Yeah.
I was going to be like, I literally did my G2 in a brand new car that I'd never driven it. I think there's a way to talk to her and go about saying, hey, I don't think I need this extra lesson. If you're still willing to allow me to use your car, that would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
If not, there's probably
other ways
other
you can
cars you
figure
can
it
find.
out.
Yeah.
Well, also especially if money's a factor. Like,
Yeah.
It
I'm-
almost
I'm-
sounds like
I'm a very honest person. I like to think. So like if I
blunt. Would you say blunt?
Did you say,
I would say
did you say you're an asshole?
I would say I'm horrifically cruel to the people around me. No, but like I'd be honest with the lady. Like if it was based on money, I'd be like, hey, I can't really afford this extra lesson.
Yeah.
But if you are still willing to let me borrow the car, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
And I think that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like see, here's where I get cynical, okay? There's a part of me that goes, she wants me to take
She's
this.
trying to scam you.
Yeah, she wants me
Yeah.
to take this. She's holding the car hostage.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And she wants me to take this extra lesson
I mean,
just to get money out of me.
Mhm.
I mean, it's totally up to her to give him the car or not.
Mhm.
If the time comes around and he's like, "Hey, can I use your car?" and she's like, "Actually, no." Totally, unless it's a company vehicle.
How old
Yeah.
are you when you can get your G2?
You
Like
road
17
test?
or 18.
Yeah,
probably,
like you
right?
can get your
You can get it
G1
right
and
when-
then do. I think you can do it right after,
I
as
was
long as you do.
thinking
Yeah.
G1, so I was thinking like 16. I was like, oh, at that age, you can just ask your
I
parents.
was like, yeah. Well, yeah,
Yeah, I think that this lady's trying to scam you, buddy.
totally.
yeah.
How does she went from the nicest person to like, give me your money or you're not going to use
If
my car.
this lady, I'm the one part that I would love clarification on is this lady part of the same?
yeah, are they,
Like, is she a drive test or like a driver's ed person, or is this just someone that your driver instructor set you up?
well, it said
with?
my instructor paired me with a friend of his, a kind woman who offered me her car.
So
Is it a kind woman that's in
so-
on the operation?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
This
why
is- this
is
could be
this
a
random
genius
lady
operation.
being like, "Hey, pay me for like you're not a driver's ed instructor, so
Yeah.
no."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Also, how does the driver's ed car getting in a car crash affect your test? Like, you should just look at the driver's ed company and be like, okay, cool.
Get another
Give
car.
me another car.
well, because
Yeah.
drivers ed, like I drove with DriveWise.
Yeah, it's
And
usually their own car.
It's usually their own car, but they also only have a certain amount of cars, and if the rest of them are either out on lessons or
Mhm.
also doing tests,
But you'd
You're
still
kinda
think it
shit
would
out of
be...
luck.
No, here's the thing. And this is where I'll be the asshole. That's not his problem.
Yeah.
This- He paid them
Yeah.
because of driver's ed.
Totally.
Now they need to cough up a vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that is
That's not
that is-
his fault.
We turn this into like a whole conspiracy now.
Yeah.
We're like, yeah, we can give good advice on this. So, dude, you're being scammed. This is a
Okay,
whole,
so-
this is
so
a
dude,
conspiracy.
I will say
Next
this
time you
does
see
sound
her,
like
you need
an
to reach over
unnecessary.
and pull the mask off of the lizard person and reveal her to the.
this situation though does sound like
It does sound
whoever
a
this
bit
lady
shady.
is. It sounds weird that she's like, "Oh, I'll give you another test." Whether she's part of a driver's ed school or not, you've done your driver's ed.
Mhm.
You've paid for that amount. You're done.
Mhm.
All you have to do is your test. If you truly think you need another lesson, your driver's ed school, you can go to them and they will provide for
But he said
an
he
amount
didn't
of
need it
money.
either.
Yeah,
But-
he said he's okay. He said he's
Well,
Yeah.
here's another thing. Here's another thing. Decline the lady, save your money, try to find a friend who has a car. And if you
Yeah.
desperately, if nobody you know, which I find it hard to believe, but if nobody you know in this world has a car
Yeah.
or is willing to give you your car, rent one. It'll probably be cheaper for a
Yeah.
day.
Mhm.
for an hour.
Yeah, for literally an hour.
Anyways, I think our real life advice is I do think that you're getting scammed.
Yeah, don't do it. dude.
So if you were able to get the car without the weird lesson,
Yeah, then
Go
do
for
it.
it.
Yeah. I don't
If
want to know what
not-
kind of lesson it is. It's
I
from
don't
this
think-
random lady.
I don't
No.
think you're at all a jerk for saying, "Hey, I don't really need the lesson," because I think this lady's a jerk for being like, "Hey, you want to use my car? Then do
One
the
more
expensive
lesson and
The
also-
$900 extra dollars in lessons.
Mm.
I would even understand her being like, if you want to use my car, I'd like, a little bit of money.
Mhm.
If you want to use it. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
But not if you want to use my car, take you on another lesson and you have to pay for it.
exactly. Yeah, but
No
I don't
thanks.
think you're at all a jerk for saying
No.
Saying you don't really
Mhm.
want to do
No.
the lesson. You just say you can't afford it or something. That's totally
Yeah.
reasonable.
Totally.
There we go, guys.
A good dilemma, Jeremy.
Good. It could be a girl actually. It never said they were a guy.
Yeah, our ambiguous listeners can all just
Is
be called
Jeremy.
Jeremys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all Jeremy.
Jeremy's.
Jeremy doesn't have a gender.
If that's what
Yeah.
our fan base will be called,
Jeremy's.
I'm done with that.
Yeah.
If you're a Dilemma Dudes fan, you're a Jeremy.
You're just a Jeremy.
We have
What
to.
up, Jeremy?
We have to start the next episode with "What up, Jeremy?"
Sup, Jeremy's? Welcome back to the Dilemma Dudes.
For a backstory is that anytime we write sketches or just tell stories about just an ambiguous person, it's always Jeremy.
It's always just
It's
Jeremy.
usually Devon started it.
Mhm.
Definitely started it. At any time, like playing D&D, and his character is telling a story or something. It's just
Like freaking Jeremy over there.
freaking Jeremy.
So, I mean, I guess our fans are called Jeremy.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you for listening to another episode of the Dilemma Dudes podcast.
Heck yeah, that was a fun one.
That was
a
fun.
good one.
We found some good Reddits.
Reddit
Yeah.
and scams.
And now you can, if you have any "Am I the Asshole" questions for us, put them on
Yeah.
our Google Forms too.
Yeah.
We have dilemmas, would you rather's, conspiracies,
Conspiracies.
and am I an asshole?
And
Mhm.
just Jeremy, the original Jeremy. That's it. That's who you are.
Mhm.
If don't take our advice like we know what we're talking about. We don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But if you do, let us know how it
Please
goes.
Yeah, I do want to know how it goes actually.
I
with
do
this
too.
specific dilemma, please tell us how it goes.
DM us.
You can put it in the
submission.
put it in the
form,
forms again. Just fill it into
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Tell us how it goes, and we'll update the
Just
listeners.
DM me personally. It's fine.
Yeah.
Tell us if you find it is a scam. Like if you text this lady back and you're like, "Hey, I don't really think I do that," and she just starts going off at you.
Yeah.
She
You were
asked for
being
your
scammed.
social insurance number. Don't give it to her.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.